Go.
Salute.
Thank you, Councillor Doyle. Councillor Darocha, are you still in the house?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the ward-based policing, in my opinion, is a figment of our imagination at this stage. It's an implementation that has been in place for several years, and yet it's still not fully operational, as it should be. Let me explain. Ward-based policing is a system that places JMPD officers in a ward daily with a vehicle. An officer's duty in the ward, in a perfect world, not in a trash city like Johannesburg, should be to stay in touch with the ward councillor, patrol the ward every day, deal with illegal trading that has overrun our wards, deal with illegal dumping that has overtaken our wards, deal with carcasses of vehicles parked on the pavements of our wards, deal with car dealerships that have taken over our pavements and turned our pavements into showrooms. Deal with car dealerships that have taken over our streets as parking spaces and causing traffic havoc. Deal with trucks and tour buses parked on our pavements, destroying council infrastructure. Dealing with window washers at our intersections and unauthorized civilian traffic controllers. Dealing with illegal structures, illegal signage. But you see, Madam Speaker, that is not happening. As you know yourself, as you travel home every day, you can clearly see what I just mentioned out in the open. My colleagues, my fellow ward councillors can also attest to that. Remember, Madam Speaker, when it comes to wards, we are all brothers and sisters in arms. Because we are all fighting the same battles, we are all facing the same challenges of no delivery, and we are all carrying the weight of our angry residents. So you see, Madam Speaker, here in council, we have an opportunity to make it work, to make it right. How can we do that? First, we need the MMC to put himself in our shoes. When I say in our shoes, I say become a ward councillor in his mind, so that he understands what I'm saying. Do not walk around with blinkers. The MMC must listen to ward councillors, and he must trust them, as they are the experts in their own wards. Hear what we are saying and act upon it. Don't get me wrong, Madam Speaker. I know that he also wants law and order in his city and in his term. The MMC must not take my comments as an insult to him. He must take them as a guideline for improvement. See, our Section 79 chairman is also a ward councillor. He will relate to what I am saying because he must deal with the same challenges himself. Another problem with this report is that it does not reflect service delivery per ward. That, Madam Speaker, must change. If we call it ward-based policing, it must be complemented with ward-based reporting. If that is not done, and if my colleagues do not get a chance to do oversight in their own wards, then the ward-based policing only exists on paper. Madam Speaker, the IIOC speaks about the use of drones to improve aerial surveillance. That should have been one of the smart initiatives right from the beginning, when the city embarked on the establishment of the IIOC. Today, 7 years down the line, we are still speaking about it in reports, although there was a need for this since day one. The implementation of pilot projects for the use of body cameras and vehicle dash cameras. It boggles me that we are still only talking about the pilot project where there is clearly a need for this camera. Not only to stop JMPD corruption from taking place, but also to help protect JMPD officers' lives. To record incidents to be used in criminal courts, to help bring justice to our people, to help serve and protect our citizens, and to help regain some control over the crime that has overridden our city. Madam Speaker, when it comes to law enforcement, No expense should be spared. If it's going to help save lives, one can never, ever put a price on a human life. So instead of having a pie-in-the-sky reports, let's embrace technology. And let us make sure that the IIOC is fully operational. Let's partner with private organizations like security companies that already have the infrastructure in place to link up with the IIOC and extend safety of residents across the city. And Madam Speaker, a little bit about bylaw enforcement. The failures of JMPD are quite evident in regards to the subject. Let me use one clear example. Political posters going up across the city. The law says that outdoor advertising bylaws of 2009, Section 28(1)(b) stipulates that the election political poster might not exceed 900 millimeters in height, 600 millimeters in width, or be less than 600 millimeters in height and 450 millimeters in width. Madam Speaker, to me it looks like there are exceptions across the city. It is maybe because the EFF is leading the ANC by the nose. Is it because the MMC for Public Safety happens to think that his party is above the law and can do whatever they like with no repercussions? You see, Madam
Rocha,
Speaker,
can you take your seat,
and
please?
for the...
Councillor De Rocha, can
I
you
was
please take your-
really heating up here.
Please take your seat. Councillor Mbengwa.
No, Speaker, I wanted you to assist the speaker there. He's bleeding, man, on the face there on top. When he's speaking, he's bleeding here on top.
Councillor. Councillor Spetlele, is your hand up. Councillor Spetlele, is your hand up. Okay. But I've just addressed.
Thank you very much, Speaker. What is your problem?
Hi, Bo.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I can hear we are being invited to this respond here. You can see where we are, but we are not pulling anyone by the nose.
Thank you, Councillor.
If that is the war
Thank you,
which is
Councillor.
coming
Thank
for
you,
us,
Councillor. Councillor De Rocha, you just have 2 minutes left, right?
Madam Speaker, thank
no,
you.
no, I have kept your time. You have
All right,
2 minutes
Madam
left.
Speaker, because I was interrupted, I have to say again. Madam Speaker, to me it looks like there are exceptions across the city. Is it maybe because the EFF is leading the ANC by the nose?
Councillor,
Is-
Councillor, no. No.
My speech, Madam Speaker.
No, Councillor, no.
Why are you
Stick to
stopping
the
me? You're
item.
taking my time away from me.
Stick to the item, Councillor.
This is the item.
No,
Can I carry
Councillor.
on? You see, Madam
Councillor
Speaker,
Ngwenya?
and for the MMC's
Councillor,
sake.
please take your seat. Councillor Ngwenya.
Thank you, Speaker. I think based on principle that we've been told here and the emphasis that have been coming from the other side was that we speak to the item. I do not remember at what stage, Speaker, where EFF is on lead. So there's a government of local unity here. Can you please speak to the item that has been spoken to?
Thank you,
If the
Councillor.
Speaker wants us, we'll
Thank
come
you,
that side.
Councillor.
We were not
Thank
scared.
you.
We'll
Thank
come
you,
that side and
Councillor.
address him accordingly.
Councillor De Rocha.
Madam Speaker, I hope I've got my 2 minutes.
I'm calling your name. I'm just calling your name because I'm addressing you. Earlier on, we had a whole debate for almost 30 minutes talking about people having to stick to No, Councillor De Gama. Councillor De Gama. No, Councillor De Gama. 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 If I wanted to talk If I wanted to talk exactly on what he's talking, I would have also, if I had the privilege, I would also have spoken about posters and their sizes and all those things. Councillor De Rocha, please, you are asked to stick to your item. You are not, earlier on it was said there was insults, which I did not hear. Currently now you are pulling the EFF and the ANC into your discussion. Can we take that away, please? Can we not do that? We had that issue earlier on. You can continue with your item, with your debate. No, councillors, we are not going to do what we are doing. No, we are not. What is good for the one side is good for the other side. No, 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 I'm not abusing you. I'm not. Councillor De Rocha, can you carry on with your speech?
Madam Speaker, I am speaking on the bylaws. That is part of the item. You cannot stop me from talking about my item. All right, Madam Speaker. You see, Madam Speaker, and for the MMC's sake, if you're a good leader, lead by example, because the EFF are putting up banners clearly against the current bylaws unpunished. Madam Speaker.
Just hold on, Councillor De Rocha, hold on. Councillor Nyameni, can you take your seat, please? And Franz, can you move away? Councillor De Rocha, I've stopped the clock for you. You have your 1 minute and 30 seconds, okay?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will not mention the nose again. But, Madam Speaker, on the subject, I recommend that in this chamber, the MMC put its job duties before party loyalties when it comes to uploading the bylaws without fear or favor. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor De Rocha. Councillor Zita. Councillor Ngwenya is seated already. No. Councillor Zita from the EFF.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Greetings to the EFF party leader, Councillor Spetlera Rasurute, EFF councillors. Speaker, let me just say this to Councillor De Rocha.
Councillor, can we not do that? Can we not do that? Can you carry on with your speech, please?
Okay, Speaker, I just want to say that we're not the generation that his ancestors found when he came from Portugal here. So we're different, we're very different. What they did in Mozambique is not going to do it here in South Africa.
Councillor Zita, can I ask you to stick what you are supposed to speak on? Can I ask that?
Speaker, it's my time.
It's my time. It's your time, but sit. Can you have a seat? I have a hand in the front.
No problem.
Please, Councillor. Yes, you can carry on. I've recognized you.
Madam Speaker, I'd like to rise on Rule 149. 149.
Councillors on my right, please.
And I'd like to just raise the issue of the contempt that Councillor Zita has just shown in council. The fact that she is addressing the councillor when she's supposed to be raising this issue through you, she should be addressing the council, you as the speaker, first of all. And second of all, I would like to know if Councillor Zita, Madam Speaker, is making a threat to Councillor De Rocha at this point. Because we are here to do the business of council.
Thank you, Councillor Belinda. Councillor Juwera.
Madam Speaker, there is a government of local unity. The Democratic Alliance must stop trying to govern through the back door.
Salute! Councillors. Councillor Belinda, can you put down your hand? And all councillors.
Belinda, you're not...
Councillors, I have just said earlier on, and then Councillor De Gama was screaming at me. I said, the DA asked that that the government of local unity don't insult, and then there was points of order. The DA now decides to insult, and then there's point of orders. What the Rocha did, what the Rocha did was an insult.
Keep quiet, DA.
Can we please, I'm not taking points of orders on point of orders. I'm going to ask Councillor Zita to stick to what you are speaking on. Please don't hurl any insults. Can we have that? Councillor Zita, I'm not sure whose mic is on. Thank you. Councillor Masetla.
Thank you very much again, Speaker. Speaker, on that note, EFF, we do note the report and approve the recommendations.
Thank you, Councillor Zita.
Thank you.
Councillor Mota.
Greetings, Speaker. Greetings, Mayor Kwame. Greetings, Chief Whip Zungu. Greetings, Caucus Leader Dada Morero. Greetings, all councillors. Greetings, resident of City of Johannesburg. ANC loves you. Speaker, item 2829 is for noting. Therefore, we note the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. MMC Masuku.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Khululeka nyembe singabakho nyembe. Ungakhali mntakama. Indeed, Speaker, the issues raised by councillors are quite critical, and yes, more still needs to be done as it relates to safety, particularly on issues of vandalism.
Can you have a seat, please, MMC? Councillor Belinda.
Madam Speaker, it's not a point of order. It's just a point to commend the leader of executive business for standing in for all these absentee MMCs today. As a woman,
MMC Masuku.
Particularly on the issue of vandalism, lawlessness, it's very rife. And I think we also need to structure our discussions differently. Yes, we can speak about what base policing, yes, we can speak about what SAPS must do, but we also have to hold our communities as well to do their part. And I think the discussion on community policing doesn't mean that, because if somebody buys something that is an illegal item, surely you know where you are buying that item from. And you know if your neighbor is a perpetrator of a particular crime. And I think we need to revisit on how we have our discussions on policing and on dealing with issues of crime. Councillor Doyle, the issue of Riverlea Elders and Westbury on gun violence, and it's actually a pandemic that I think most of us have been there, even the speaker herself, the mayor, many councillors. And one of the discussions we've said to elevate the same approach through the executive mayor that we've taken on the Zamazamas, the illegal mining, when we had to seek the intervention of the province and write to the president, and the percentage drop now that there is the people from the army that are deployed there. It's strides that we are making, The Premier is dealing with the matter. It is a matter of discussion even at the Presidential Infrastructure, Presidential Coordinating Committee with various provinces to make sure that we deal with this issue. Safer communities are our strategic priority as the government of local unity. And I think it's for everybody. It's got nothing to do with which political party you belong to, because public safety, community safety is something that all of us want. And I think the chairperson raised a very critical point in his opening when he quoted the late President Nelson Mandela about how all of us have got the right to live freely and walk freely, work in a safe environment, particularly as it relates also to women in the spaces that we work, we live in, the rise of gender-based violence. So I think our discussions must be centered around that. Councillor Dorosha, I've noted your points and your views. I will relate to the MC Chwaku on the improvements that you've proposed in terms of the guidelines. But I do want to say on the IOOC, the mayoral committee has been engaged with this matter. We have actually also put money to it because we understand the importance of having the IOOC. It's not something that we are taking lightly because we understand the impact thereof of that particular operation.